and then watching the Dodger game at the same time. And I looked up and I missed the grand slam.
You know what's sad? I couldn't name you one Dodger right now.
That is sad.
That's really sad.
That upsets me, Jose. Not one. We have like two. We have 3 Hall of Famers on the team. They're like no doubt Hall of Famers.
Okay, hold on. So Clayton Kershaw's still there.
There you
obviously.
go. You got one.
What's that guy? Something Betts?
Mookie Betts, yes.
Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer right now, no doubt.
That's all I got. Darryl Strawberry.
He was a Dodger.
when he's not
Gagne.
smoking crack, he's a hell of a baseball player.
Eric Gagne.
No, that was 20 years ago. Eric Gagne. Freddie Freeman.
Brett Butler.
God, you're calling out like you're trying to.
That was my era of Dodgers. All right, that's when I was like a Dodger fan.
They're better now. Like you should be more of a Dodger fan now. We have Hall of Famers on the team now.
What is how many World Series?
Well, one
With an asterisk.
There's no asterisks there.
100%. Shorter season.
So were there other teams that had to play longer seasons? Why did they play if they knew there was an asterisk going to be tagged onto that shit? Not one team said, you know what, I think there's going to be an asterisk on this season. We're not playing. They all played.
Well, they have their contractually.
Do they put an asterisk on like whoever won the Stanley Cup that year or the Super Bowl that year?
I would.
Or
yeah, Jose
the World
doesn't care
Cup
about
that year.
Because we don't care about those, and that's why Jose doesn't care about those.
That's right. I only attack when I see there's
blood in the water.
Yeah.
All right, shark eyes, just relax.
I mean, if you guys were this passionate about F1 racing, I'd be like, dude, that driver.
Anti, like, whatever. I hate Marlboro or whatever. Like, whatever.
Marlboro?
Yeah, it's like every time I think of, like, Formula One or I just see Marlboro, like, sponsoring cars.
See, that's like the same era.
We used to go to the drags at Pomona, and that's when everything was Winston, Marlboro, like all the Camel, all the sponsors.
But now it's
and
like
if you took a pack of any cigarettes, even if there was one cigarette in it, over to like the Camel booth, they would take it and give you a whole pack.
Remember you got the little
the miles?
Yeah, you got your Marlboro miles.
Dude, my aunt
I knew somebody that traded them in for Dominoes.
My aunt used to smoke so much. She was like a 2 to 3 pack a day.
Woo!
She had travel bags, jackets, all Marlboro stuff.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool stuff.
She got the canoe. She got the Marlboro canoe. Like, well, it was like Wheel of Fortune back in the day. Like when you didn't just get money, you had to buy from like the showcase. You know, like the thing would spin around, and it was like furniture and paintings and just tchotchkes and shit,
and new knife sets, shit
like
you didn't need.
Square sets, like I don't want that.
And it was always the Dalmatian for $250 that everybody was like, I guess I'll take that fucking stupid Dalmatian for $250 because that's all the money I have. Back in those days. I'm old. I remember that shit. Tim doesn't remember that. Though I do appreciate the Mike Piazza comment. Mike Piazza was working his way up to Steve Garvey level. And then
Senator Steve Garvey?
Yep. Nailed it.
You know, and I'd probably vote for him. I mean, you seen Dianne Feinstein? She's like a zombie these days.
God.
She's like
happened?
She's literally a fucking
She had a stroke.
zombie.
Oh, really?
She had a stroke, and her entire party was like, all right, Diane, it's time.
Yeah, like
there was some major votes that needed to be done that they couldn't do until she came back, and she's like,
and she's just nodding her head,
I'm coming back,
like that Captain Pike from Star Trek. Like he can't vocalize things. It's just a light on his chest that says 2 blings for yes, 1 bling for no.
Look,
that's her ass.
I didn't realize she was like in that bad of a shape until like the most recent. I was like, oh my god.
It makes me like, damn. Sometimes life will not let go. It just people will just cling. Like Jesus.
I feel like that's me right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every time I
And
think,
she's not the one that got hit in the head with a hammer, right? It was her husband.
No, it was
that's Pelosi.
Pelosi's.
Oh.
Hey man, how you doing?
Same thing.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yep, I hear you. You guys hear me?
Yeah. You good?
Yep.
All right,
that's better. Like usually,
yeah.
there's only one man in the shadows,
Yeah,
and that's me.
That's Matt. So we are live streaming now. We just came on to chit chat with some peeps while we were waiting for you. F you, Tim. Fuck you.
Whoa.
Tim says, I think I've said this before, but when Cody looks down on camera, he looks like Sid from Ice Age.
Wow.
Look, I recognize that I'm not an attractive man. I don't need your help in telling me that I look like Sid from Ice Age. What a dick. So we're live streaming
Jiggle
right
some
now.
cables or something.
What happened? Oh, probably because
I just lost all. I can't hear nothing.
Hold on. I pulled on this. Hold
I guess I'm not the only one with technical difficulties, huh?
on.
Oh, sorry, dude. We just running
Yeah.
right over you.
Yeah, we
Good
What a
one,
jerk.
Jose.
so we're live streaming now. We'll get started in just a minute. I want to get a couple things first. So let me do this. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Sounds like you had a busy day, but I appreciate you coming on.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you guys great. It's perfect.
Okay, good. So we are going to talk about Rotation Motorsports. We're going to talk about your trip to Baja. We'll talk about Kanati Tire. Is there anything else you want to talk about tonight?
I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate, but we'll figure it out as the night goes along.
Okay.
There's pretty much
You'll
pretty
fit
much
right-
no limits here,
you'll
man.
fit right in.
Just roll with it. Just roll
You'll
with
fit
it.
right in. Is your actual BC is your first name?
BC is my name because it's Benjamin Charles, and there's 5 Bens in my family, and my stepmother got tired of asking which Benny they were calling for.
Oh, because
So
we had an idea what BC stood for, and Benjamin Charles was not on that
Benjamin
list.
Charles.
My brother got screwed. He's BJ.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd much rather have BC than BJ.
Yeah, all day, every day.
Just so you know, I said body count,
Yeah.
but that's just me,
Good band.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just my era. So we, hey BC, that's you answer to BC.
Yeah, BC or Ben. I don't really go by Benny.
As far as
since high school,
As
but
far as
yeah,
the intro goes,
Yeah.
we have BC or Ben from Rotation Motorsports.
We'll just go with BC. We'll go
Okay,
with BC.
all right.
Rotation Motorsports. But then I was, in the early days of my nickname, before I got into the off-road industry, I was in a couple of major rock bands as the drummer, and I thought BC as my stage name was much better than Benny
Ben.
or
Hey, I'm Ben.
the BC Vaught.
Hi, I'm Benny.
I kept it, and it just worked.
I don't
and
know.
I just
Benny and the Jets is pretty cool. I'm just saying.
yeah.
You
I didn't play for Elton John, brother.
All right, so the logistically what we'll do here in just a few minutes is I'll count down 3, 2, 1. I'll go quiet for about 5 seconds. That's where I'm going to start the recording for the podcast. We'll do an intro. We'll talk. We'll just talk about meeting you at Expo, and just randomly go on for an hour or so about the stuff that whatever comes up. At the end of it, we'll say thank you so much. Have a great night, but don't hang up immediately. That's just where we're going to end the recording for the show, and then we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is 6:30 on, I take it back, it is 6:40 on Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube as we usually are on Tuesday nights. We already have people in the chat room making fun of us. I had someone... I had someone in the chat room, and you know who this is, says I look like Sid from Ice Age, and I gave him the middle finger on camera. We are joined tonight with BC Vaught from Rotation Motorsports, from Kanati Tire, and fresh off a trip to Baja, California. How are you doing tonight, man?
Great. Happy to be back in the States. Had a great couple weeks in Mexico.
No, I bet. I cannot wait to hear that. Jose and I ran into BC at the Overland Expo a couple weeks in Flagstaff, and he was at the Kanati booth, and we talked to him for a little bit, and he was telling us about this trip to Baja he's got going on, and showing us pictures of the truck you were trying to get finished and hoping it ran. So let's start there. You left Flagstaff, got down to where you from? Where you living at?
So I live I'm here in Sunset Beach, California. Okay. It's just in between Huntington Beach and Seal Beach.
Okay.
And, it was November of last year. Me and a buddy were sitting across the street here where I just came from right now, Beal's Barbecue. And he goes, man, I need some write-offs. He's got a company that does very well in the telecommunications world. And he goes, I need some write-offs. And I'm thinking about buying a trophy truck, and me and you are going to race it. And I just laughed, took another sip of my vodka soda and said, oh, yeah, okay. And he goes, I'm not kidding. Tell me who to call right now. So I go, all right. So I called Jim Beaver. I go, Jim, my buddy wants to buy a trophy truck. Can you lead us in the right direction? He goes, yep. Connects him with Robbie Pierce at Jimco. And within a couple days, Ryan had procured the truck. Robbie Pierce was on his way to go on a scuba diving trip down in Bonaire, down in the Caribbean. And unfortunately, Robbie, on that scuba diving trip, had passed away from some type of a heart attack or whatever, And but in the end, the truck was procured, and Ryan said, dude, Robbie was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. We got to go race this truck in his honor. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And sure enough, we went down to Baja 2 weeks ago with the Jimco guys, pre-ran. We did over 1,000 miles a piece on our own sections, and ultimately started our first Baja 500 in a trophy truck, and we finished it. Dude, we had some issues. We broke the steering rack, and had about 4 hours of time sitting while the vehicle was being repaired. But we finished the Baja on our first time in a trophy truck, and it was incredible.
Dude, first of all,
that's freaking rad.
If anybody needs some goddamn write-offs, please call me. I have plenty of ideas. I got plenty of things you can write off.
Why do I have to have poor friends? All my friends are broke.
Is that a dig at me?
Yeah, pretty much. Can you come down and help me build shit or move something? Those are the friends
I need to stop hanging out with certain people.
I'm not unemployed by choice, man. I'm not unemployed by choice. So first of all,
you end up hanging out with the right person, you end up in the truck.
Okay, I don't know the right person because I hang out with these guys. Clearly,
sometimes we end up in a truck, but it's a Ford Ranger or a Nissan.
Yeah, which in the Ranger, it's almost as good as a Baja trophy truck.
Okay. But we are dirt people. We're in the IE, so that's just
where you at in the IE.
So I'm in Eastvale. We're all right now technically sitting in Eastvale.
Eastvale.
Yes. But
is there a gang sign I should throw up?
In the Vale. We call it the Vale.
Okay. We're just going to roll down here to Sunset and let's ride some e-bikes.
Let's do it.
Super 73s down to Blackies in Newport.
Oh, nice.
I got a 450 I can ride down there.
No, you can't. You can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, it's sand. You're right.
You'll hurt yourself. So that whole story is pretty awesome, man. To be able to be just hey, let's do this. Okay, let's, and it happens, and in a very short period of time.
And I don't claim Eastvale. I'm Fontucky. So, I don't want to say I'm raised there, but, I got to claim my hometown.
Yes. Okay. And so you went down 2 weeks, did a bunch of pre-running, did the event. Was that your first Baja 500?
That was my first desert off-road race ever.
Wow. So was it what you expected?
It was. I mean, I grew up off-roading in Ocotillo Wells and Glamis and stuff, and have been there since I'm a three-wheeler guy to a quad guy. When I wasn't kidding, I played in some pretty well-known bands, and as soon as I decided to leave the music industry, Wes Miller he was one of my best friends. He's like, dude, come work for me. And I go, well, what do you want me to do? And he goes, I don't know, but we'll figure it out because you got a lot of resources. And I ended up working for him. And then I started managing all these quad freestyle guys. And then it turned out to be Caleb and Colton Moore, who were some of the best quad freestyle riders in the world. And then we ended up partnering with Polaris, and then we got into the X Games, and everything was great until Caleb crashed and perished in the 2013 X Games. And then the goal was to help Colton get into caged racing, and it wasn't really Colton's thing. He didn't really want to race. He wanted to do freestyle, and it didn't end up working out, but I just went on, and Corey Ellis, who is now the boss at Greenball Corporation, which is Kanati and GBC tires, he sponsored us. And a few years went by, and I got a call one night, and he's like, hey, BC, what are you doing these days, man? I need some help over here. And I said, what's the job entail? And he goes, travel to events and, handle on-site marketing for our tires. And I go, sounds like a good time. And he goes, well, that's not it. He goes, I need somebody who knows how to drive so you can go off-roading with people and talk about our tires and not wad up our shit. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, cool. I'll do it. And that sounds good. I'll take the gig. And it's been awesome, educating people on GBC tires for UTVs and Kanati. It's been a lot of fun. We're up against behemoths in the rubber world. I just raced a trophy truck on BFGs because we don't make 40s for Baja, and just see, the guys from BFG in the pits, they were a huge help. They came and helped pitted us, and they have a ton of money, and it's because they've had a great product for years and they did the right marketing, and there's room for competition in this industry, and Greenball's an American company. Obviously, the tires aren't made here; they're made in Indonesia. It's very expensive to make a tire in the United States, so the price point's quite a bit different. But the family who owns the company is awesome. All the employees are awesome, and it's just made me feel like I want to spend a lot of time here building this brand. I'm having a great time doing it.
And the brand itself, I think it was about 2 years ago was the first time I'd heard of the brand through someone that we were connected with that said, oh yeah, that's all I run. All I run is Kanati tires. And I was like, all right, let's talk about it. And this person's been in the motorsports for a while. He was a quad racer for a while, and all of his trucks are running Kanati tires at this point. And it was kind of my first introduction to the brand. And since then, I've been following you guys and paying attention and seeing what's going on. And then you and I had the chance to talk at Expo, and I noticed that, you had 6 different tires out in front of your booth, and I didn't realize the breadth of offering that Kanati had until I saw that, and then went to the website, and I've done a bunch of research since. But you guys have everything from the Mud Hog, the big knobby soft one, down to the all-terrain with 4 other versions in between for various conditions. And I think that there are some of the bigger name brands that still don't have that many offerings in the space.
No, true. It's funny because even though we have a lot to offer, I like to pinpoint to the target audience, what the best tire is for them. And it narrows down to a few, because our all-terrain is called the Trail Hog. It's a very soft tire. It's a snowflake rated tire that, like when I was managing Caleb and Colton Moore and going to the X Games and I would drive out there, I'd come home and go through snowstorms in Ouray, Colorado or Silverton, and I couldn't believe how much grip the tire had. It's a soft tire with excellent siping, and it's just it just has a great grip. But if you want, the regular consumer comes up and they what's the main question they ask?
What's the best tire?
Yeah.
How many miles am I going to get out of this tire?
Yeah.
And I go, well, it depends on what you want. Do you want a performance tire, or do you want a price point tire, or do you want
to go to the mall and look good?
Yeah.
Tire that's hard as hell, that's not going to give you grip, and you're going to get 30,000 miles, 40,000 miles out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm very upfront with people, and I say this is what the right tire is for you. Right now, we got a tire called the Terra Commander, which I'm a big fan of. I got it on my personal vehicle. It's a great all-around tire. Our all-terrain tire is a very soft tire. So if you want incredible grip and 20,000 miles, it's the tire. But if you compare the price point of our tire on that to another tire that you're going to get 30,000 miles and shit grip,
yeah,
our tire is the best tire for you.
Yeah. We were that Terra Commander RTX. It's like that perfect. We've talked about this multiple times. Like I don't need to run a mud terrain anymore. I don't think I'm going to go that route. I definitely don't want a highway terrain, right? I want something that's all terrain heavy, like just all terrain with a little bit more traction, right? And that Overland RTX and the Terra Commander RTX kind of, to me, fit that bill. I guess the Commandant ATX is pretty aggressive as well, but like it's that.
The Commandant's more of a if you have a 2500 or a 3500 and you need that load rating and you want a heavy towing tire, that's your Commandant, which we used to have the Armor Hog, or we're kind of pushing that out now, which was an all steel construction sidewall and everything. It's just not necessary if you can get the same load rating out of a tire that's 10 pounds less in weight.
Yeah. I really liked the overall aesthetic of the Overland RTX and Terra Commander RTX, and I feel like that rough terrain, that RTX tire tread is the for me, and I believe for most people that fall into like the off-road overlanding space, that's the right tire, right? It's it may not. If you're in Mississippi and you're mud bogging all the time, it may not be the right tire. But for anybody in the Southwest that's got varying temperatures and terrain,
sand, rock,
I really feel like that's what's the so in that RTX lineup, what's the general sizes? I mean, you go all the way up to 37s and.
Yeah, it goes up to 37. And I got to tell you, the bigger the size in that tire, the cooler it looks. On my, I got to like if it's in the smaller sizes, it just looks like another all-terrain tire. But you get up into 35s and 37s, which we have on our company Raptor. It's a bitchin' looking tire. It's different,
No, you have a company Raptor? Yeah, I've never worked for a company that had a Raptor.
It really sucks to have to do events where my job is to carry fuel in the back of the company Raptor on an 80-mile dirt road to Bar 10 Ranch from St. George, Utah. And they said, just get there before us. And I go, okay.
Are you guys hiring? Because I currently need a job.
Yes, sir. Job has been occupied. I got from St. George to Bar 10 Ranch. I got there in an hour in our company Raptor with those Terra Commanders. I dig the tire. It's a quiet tire on the highway. And if you need it off road, it grabs, and it's a fun tire to drive. So, at the end of the day, people come up to the booth and they go, "What's different about your tire?" And I say, I can sit here till I'm blue in the face and give you these gnarly technical specs. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, it's like Formula One. You got soft, medium, and hard tires. You got a tread pattern you like. You got the siping in it that you need. You know, you got the price point that you want as well. And then you got a company that's based out of Anaheim, California. That's an American company. You support it. You know, these are, we got a small group of people working together to push this company. You know, we don't have the money to market like other major tire companies. We're just I'd say, if you will, a boutique tire company. Mm-hmm. And all the people that work here are super cool, including to the top, Randy, who I've dealt with since when I was managing the Moore Brothers and we were trying to race short course off-road with Bikeman Performance and doing the Terracross series. Greenball was always there for us. Mm-hmm. You know, what tires you guys need? You know, and it wasn't just for some crazy reason of marketing. It's just because the people are cool. And that's why when Corey called me and said, I need your help here, I said, oh, I'm down to help because you guys are great peeps, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you say a boutique tire company based here in the States, but it's also, it seems to me from the outside, a boutique tire company filled with enthusiasts that are selling a product that they're physically using and abusing and testing and proving every day, right? I mean, it seems like you guys are in the dirt lifestyle.
You come to any Jeep event, and half the time you come to our booth, I'm not even at the booth because I'm off-roading with people and showing them that our tires are as good or better than anybody else's. You know, I will never talk shit on anybody else's tire because everybody makes a great tire. It comes down to marketing dollars and the people that work at that company.
Yeah. I do feel like, and we've had the opportunity to test and ride on multiple different brands, and I do feel like there's enough in the market to where you can. Yes, there are bad tires, but for the most part, you can find a tire that you like, that's your price point, that has the aesthetic that you're looking for, that fits your vehicle, and you're gonna land in a good spot, right? And I think going back to your point, a lot of that's marketing, a lot of that's being out there and connecting with the community like you're doing, and you know, somebody knows somebody that's riding on this tire, and so they trust that tire, right? I mean, for a long time, we were all running on tires that we all promoted because we trusted them and they performed, but I don't think that if you're in the market for tires, there's plenty of options. There's plenty of good options based on your price point.
I've got a buddy up here who swears by Kanatis. He runs them. I think he has the Mud Hogs, some crazy on his XJ. And he loves them. So
the best part of that XJ.
I know that, you know, take a chance and run the Mud Hog. They dig them, you know, because the Mud Hog, it's a softer compound. The tire flexes, it grabs. If you're into crawling, you know, I've had a couple people come to buy the booth and they want to complain about the sidewall. You know what I mean? But I can tell you what, I can go out there right now in my UTV or my Jeep or even the trophy truck on another company's tire, and I can slide that shit right into the wall. And I guarantee, give me 15 minutes and I'll slice their sidewall too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, a lot comes down to the driver too. You know, you can't abuse a tire and expect it to hold up to everything. It's just, it's not possible.
Yeah. And right. with off-roading, there are so many variables in a trail. If you're on Mojave Trail and you're cruising down the road, I mean, chances are you're going to be fine. You go up to Big Bear, though, there's plenty of roots and rocks that could jump out and get you.
Did you say roots?
Roots.
Are you from the East Coast?
I think you said roots.
Roots.
Rum?
The two what?
The two Utes. But I mean, look, we
I'm sorry. Roots.
We were wheeling in the snow one time, And I
You
made
wash or wash?
I wash, yeah. And since I'm a house husband, I do a lot of wash now. I made a U-turn in snow, and there was a branch sticking out that nobody saw, and it punctured the sidewall of my tire. There is no
was a
tire
wooden stake.
on the
It wasn't even a branch.
it was a Buffy the Vampire stake. There's no tire that would have withstood that.
Didn't you fight vampires with that stick?
I tried
afterward?
to. I had it in here for a
Yeah.
while. But yeah, I think that going back to the tires, I
It
mean,
looked like a trap to me. Is what
it
I'm
did.
saying.
I was
Like,
pissed.
somebody set you up.
There's plenty of options out there, and I do like the fact that you guys are 30 minutes away from where we're at. Oh, look at that! So
That's awesome.
So let's talk
Show
more.
off.
Let's talk more about that. So you get down there 2 weeks ago, and you're
Can you? What just happened right now?
so he just held up his Baja 500 medal for
I'm gonna show you
for
A
finish.
medallion. It was a medallion.
Yeah, gee, look at that! Look at that finish. He's a
I would
finish-
just wear that. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
This is an honest question because
Everywhere.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't have anything
Well,
cool like that.
I
Why
tr-
wouldn't you just wear that every day? Exactly. Like I just go into work. Like I just had
backstage
my
pass. Backstage pass.
exactly. I had my MFRs today where I had to sit in front of like all the executives and stuff, and I would totally have that like just dangling from my neck. Like, what's up, fools? Yeah.
Oh,
Look what I
Yeah,
accomplished.
you get
There's
pulled
a
over.
better,
There's
there's a better piece I want to
Oh
show
no,
you.
a better piece.
Oh.
There's a power move if you make turn it into a belt buckle.
Yeah, ooh. Or,
Well, I
or
mean-
put a clock in it and wear it like Flavor Flav.
No.
Yeah, I think I'd still like it around my neck
I
so
like
they
the
can
belt
see
buckle.
Oh, that's the official Baja 500
Tequila.
tequila? What is that?
Yeah, tequila.
Wow, look at that bottle. That is amazing.
it. That's a really
It's
ornate
not
bottle.
bad.
Matt, we had tequila out of a bottle like that once.
No, you
and,
did not.
Remember,
No, I
not
don't-
out of
I
that
don't
kind of
think so.
bottle.
remember
That is,
at that event we had, we were emceeing
oh
and
man.
had that super expensive tequila?
No.
We'll do this.
There you go. There you
Hey.
go. So so you get down there and like, so where did you guys stay? Did you guys stay in RVs? Did you stay in a hotel?
No, we got so Wes Miller, who like has been one of my best friends for many years. He's got, I think he's over 20 years racing Baja, and so he's got a couple houses down there that he's connected to right on the right on the harbor there in Ensenada. You know, it's not like 5-star accommodations, but they're cool houses with comfortable beds right on the harbor, and it's in a gated community, so you know all your shit's safe. And we stayed there for 2 weeks, and it was great because you can leave, go pre-run for the day, you'll be gone 12 hours, come back, all your stuff is completely safe, and there's a brewery right in front of the property which serves great food. So we'd go there every night and have some food. We didn't do a whole lot of drinking down there until we crossed the finish line. And then we had a good night of drinking, and the next day we hit some wineries. But yeah, no, it's comfortable. Ensenada, it's crazy. I went down there thinking I'm going to be ready to come home after a couple days, but I never got homesick once. The food down there, Wes Miller is like he's one of these guys that sniffs out the culinary arts, and we went to some restaurants. For $50 you can have an incredible meal.
Oh man, I bet.
So we ate well, and it was just a neat experience, man.
$50.
A lot of great people in Mexico.
Just so you know, $50 doesn't even it hardly feeds my family at Del Taco.
Del Taco, exactly. I was gonna.
And that's not a joke.
Oh, I
It's
was
free coffees at Starbucks now.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in the race, did you drive, co-pilot, or both?
No, I drove. I got in at mile 212 at BFG Pit 2, and I drove to the finish.
Wow.
So I got in at 5 o'clock and pulled into the finish at midnight.
Woo.
What was that like, man? Like I was watching a video earlier today of guys in a Baja 500 truck, and they hit a sand patch and it's dark as hell, and they ended up having to stop the truck and get out and kind of walk to try to figure out where the trail was, and the co-pilot's walking, pointing where to go. Like, what was your experience like driving at night for 250
Dude,
miles?
it's crazy. You don't know, like when you're driving a truck for the first time in your career, and you just all you picture is guys going wide open, hauling ass. And I'm in little sections, and I'm doing like 5 miles an hour, going, I can't fucking see to where. And he's like, just drive what you see, just drive what you see. And I'm like, I can't fucking see anything, man. And he's like, well, you got to do what you can. And it's like, what you know from hearing about trophy trucks and hauling ass, you're like, well, I got to go. But then when you're being smart and it's your buddy's truck,
Yeah.
Look, I want to be smart and save the truck. You know, you just sometimes you stop and let the dust clear a little bit and move ahead, and you just got to be smart. You know,
which is why if somebody had needed a write off and they came to us and we had a truck, Matt would not drive. Matt would be a great co-pilot because the truck would make it 4 to 5 miles before it would explode in epic fashion. And we'd be like, Matt,
my truck is still running.
We would say, Matt, we didn't finish. And you'd be like, yeah, but wasn't that cool? Like, that's
5 miles.
That's ridiculous. I think the coolest statement you just made was, in my career, like you referred to your racing career. Like, now it's just what you do.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad, dude. I literally you're sort of professional racer is like what it sounded like to me.
Well, I mean, are you gonna do this again?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, your racing career. You referenced
400, 1,000. I'm going to be a veteran in another race.
Nice.
Exactly.
In the same truck.
You sign the check and I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Did you recognize you just said
professionals?
Yeah.
Are you going to? So are you guys going to take the same truck?
Oh! I mean, what do you think? My buddy buys a $1.5 million truck.
I don't know.
The guy needs write-offs.
I think he needs sponsors now. Throw that show on the truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's better than one write-off?
All $12.
2 write-offs.
The $12 we get for this show, I'll make sure that goes to But I mean, like, so getting that. When's the next race?
Wait a minute, we're getting
$12. The Baja 400, and it's in a few months.
So what kind of prep needs to be done to the vehicle between now and then to get it ready?
Well, the truck goes back to Jimco, and Jimco preps it, and the motor's got plenty of juice left in it. Tranny has got plenty of juice left in it. It just needs a little cosmetic fixer-uppers, and so not a ton of prep for the truck for the Baja 400. But after the Baja 400, it'll probably be a pretty extensive prep to get ready for the 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1,000 this year goes from La Paz, down in La Paz, all the way up to Ensenada.
Wow.
So the logistics of that is pretty gnarly, getting crews separated and split amongst the peninsula.
We'll go. I got a crew of 4. We'll go and stage up.
I'd be stoked if you guys all came down and hung out.
I don't know that would be any value to you when you rolled up.
Zero value. Unless you need somebody to help drink your beer.
I got this duct tape. What do you want me to? Where do you want me to stick?
Sounds like all my friends that came to the 500. But still, we had a great time.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag about my duct tape abilities, but I do have a very high level. Yes, experience
between
with
here.
duct tape.
You've got 50 years.
I have been
duct
collecting
tape.
zip ties forever.
Look, we all got yelled at holding the flashlight in the wrong place growing up, so we're pretty good at holding the flashlight too.
So speaking of the logistics, like how many people went down there with you as support for the 500?
It was mainly, it's more of a, since we're so new to the game, Ryan's kind of doing a thing where he relies on Jimco. So I don't know what the price is that he pays for that. I don't even ask.
I'll do it for half. But
Jimco supplies the crew. They had Chase. I pulled into a pit. They work with the BFG people too. So we pulled into some pits, and the BFG people helped out, replaced the steering rack and stuff. So it's a pretty extensive deal, man. I don't know. I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it. And is he actively looking for sponsors now at this point to continue this journey and run more races?
We'll see. He's not like he's a very he's a very successful guy that has things down the way he likes to do it. And I'm an agent, so I've said I'm happy to start bringing sponsors to the table, and he says, just hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And do things his way, and I'm cool with it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, you don't want to ruin his write-offs.
No.
Well, I just want to respect what his vision is, and obviously I enjoy the seat, but like I told him, if ever he had somebody else for the job, I would respect it. And I'm happy to have done it one time, and if I get to do it again, great. And if I get to do it again after that, great. And
you got a sweet medallion. Like that's like, it seems like, you know what? Thank you for the sweet medallion and my tequila. And you get to brag, dude, you get to brag about finishing the Baja 500.
Well,
it's real cold too. I'm going down to the jeweler tomorrow and see what I can get.
Pawn Stars.
But I think that there's for a race team that in November of last year decided to do this, picked up the vehicle, slapped together a crew through contracting or whatever, and then went out and finished the 500. I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? I mean, how many
a Modelo Especial has never tasted so good.
Yes. How many large race teams don't finish? I mean, how many the attrition on those races is pretty gnarly because it's so intense. For you guys to take a truck out for the first time and pre-run it and finish it. Well, I guess you probably didn't pre-run on the race truck, right? But to finish the 500 the first time out, that's a big accomplishment, right?
I mean, that's what they say. All I knew is when I got in the truck, Barry, who built the truck, his lady was there, and she goes, AC, just get to the truck to the finish, And I said, Dina, I'll do that. Trust me. I'm not a guy that's going to go out there and drive a vehicle, whether it's my buddy's or it's my own. I'm not going to drive it at 105%. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to drive it at 80%. Sure, there were a couple instances where I think I got lucky and the truck was still together. But, I'm a pretty smart and conservative driver, so I'll get the truck to the finish. Now I need to, as time goes by, I need to learn to mitigate that and get it in between conservative and 100% so we can compete. Had Ryan not busted the steering rack and I had been sitting there for close to an hour trying to figure out what was wrong with the paddle shifters and getting it out of second gear, we calculate that we probably would have taken 10th place.
Oh, wow.
And to me, that's respectable. That to me, it's like, I don't think we're a couple of dipshits who don't know how to drive. I think we do know how to drive, but I'm not going to come here and say we're going to blow McMillan out of the water or, any of those guys or McCachran. No way. There's I want to say there's an F load to learn.
Yeah. Oh, well, not only learn, but there is a level of experience that those guys have, not only as drivers,
that's their job,
as mechanics, as crews, right? There's a huge gap between an independent team that's going out there and making it happen with grit and and Modelo to a team who's 365 days a year. This is what they do. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's not to say that you can't beat those teams down the road, but there's a lot of, I would think that there's a lot of things that got to fall into place for that to happen, and to be able to go out and compete and finish top 10, top 5 on the podium over the course of time is awesome. I mean, it's one of those things that the four of us have talked about multiple times about the idea of being able to race something somewhere in the dirt. And you're getting to live that dream, and it sounds like you guys are doing a good, respectable job of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I was just with Ryan over at Beal's barbecue here in Sunset Beach, where the whole idea came up, and we were just sitting there laughing and talking about, like, Jesus, we were just here in November and December talking about it, and we just got home from completing it. How cool is that? And what's the next step? And we're racing the next step. We're going to improve from here, and it's super cool, man. I'm super stoked to be a part of it.
So now that you've done it, so I would assume prior to going, like as it ramps up, like it's in your head, right? You're thinking about it. What's the next step? All these things. Now that you've done it, has that subsided or is it worse?
Well, geez, that's something where once you've done it, you always want to improve, right? You always want to improve. I know the mistakes that I made. I know where I can improve. I know where the communication between me and my co-driver can improve, which is a big part of driving in the desert.
You're going to wreck the car.
Huh?
You're going to wreck the car. Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't.
There's a video, Casey. I don't know what's the name of it. It's two guys in a rally car, and the driver is driving like a total jackass, and the co-driver's trying to be calm, and he's like, "Please listen to me. You're going to wreck the car." And then he's off the track. "Please listen to me. You need to listen to me." And he's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
Well, then that's the guy that you don't want driving your car, because I was begging to hear Wes Miller the whole night, and all I could hear was a voice. I can hear the enunciation. I can hear, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, Wes, you need to frickin' yell. I'm yelling. And I'm like, and then I'm like, oh God, there's a 90. And then, to the bushes, and I'm like, where were you there? And he goes, I was yelling at you. So when we got to the finish and, we hugged each other, and I said, I'm sorry for yelling at you. He goes, dude, that's just how it is. I yell at my co-driver when I'm racing.
Yeah.
Too. He goes, that's how it is. All we can do is figure out how to improve on that, and it's going to make the next race that much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that, I've watched enough videos to see some of those crews that have done this a bunch of times. Like, it's almost like they speak a different language, right? And the co-driver says something to the driver, and he totally knows what that means, and then they do their thing, right? I mean, and that only happens over time.
And part of it is also gaining Wes's trust too, or Wes will tell me, it's just a crest over the hill, but still I'll check up a little bit going over the hill because I don't fully trust him yet. And that takes time. You're not going to trust anybody in that situation until you have experience.
Yeah. And someone tells you, oh, you got a right-hand turn, you can take it 55 miles an hour. Well, can he take it at 55? Can I do it at 45? There comes a point where to your point, every time he says it's this, that it's that.
Yeah, true.
What was the most surprising part of running the race? Like, as you look back of it, what happened that was unexpected for you?
One time, I came up over a crest, and it was an immediate 90-degree turn, and I just pitched that truck sideways, and it was like slow motion. I go, well, that's it.
This is it.
It's my last time driving a trophy truck, and right into these. It was at night. It was pitch black, but I just remember it looking like a bunch of bushes, and I was waiting to hit them and then flip over sideways and land somewhere. But somehow we hit those bushes, and it put me right back on the road, and I'm like holy F. Through that, I couldn't believe the strength of that Jimco truck. Unbelievable beast, and the abuse that thing took. I got a video that my cousin took. He was on the highway next to us, and I'm on a road that's just full of whoops. And I remember looking down at the Motec, and it said 100 miles an hour. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going over these whoops at 100 miles an hour. I cannot believe, and you're hearing everything that's going on in the truck.
Yeah.
You hear mechanical shit in the back. You hear mechanical shit in the front. Everything's just working. And you're just sitting there just barely moving.
Mm-hmm. I know. In my Ranger, it's the same. I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, I drive a Ford Ranger. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You mean you're not listening to the Beastie Boys? I would just assume you're listening to Beastie Boys or some Led Zeppelin or
Foo
something.
Fighters. Usually the Foo Fighters. Yeah, I think that like, you know, part of the drive or desire to want to do like an off-road race like that is, you know, we drive our daily driver trucks and they're, you know, they do their thing, and we know how much fun it is when you're doing 55 across the desert lake bed, right? The idea of being able to do 100 miles an hour over whoops and through turns and through sand and to your point, just sit still just seems otherworldly to me. It's like unfathomable.
You know,
sorry to cut you off, but we feel like we're always limited by what our trucks can do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Regardless of what we can do, even though probably there's some limitations there as well, but I think we're mostly limited by what our trucks are capable of. But to be able to drive a vehicle that far exceeds our ability, or at least is, you know, twice as much capable or triple, whatever, the trucks we're used to be able to put your foot into it and go, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like driving
that's what I like.
If most people drove an F1 car, they're like, dude, this car drives like shit. But you got to drive it like at 180 miles an hour for it to actually handle right and stuff.
You need that downforce to show you what the car can do.
But to Casey's point, like as we're driving through the desert of Johnson Valley and you see a rut or something, you're like, ooh, and you check up because you know you're going to bottom out when you hit that thing. Yeah. The idea of
my rooftop tent is not going to like this.
I got 42-pound totes of shit camping gear in the back. But when you see that, the idea of going, oh, I got this, and just like hammering down and bopping right over it, to like that's like, oh my god, like that's otherworld. Like I can't even imagine. Like
this road's kind of rough. Go faster.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? Like the night before the race, I was kind of psyching myself out a little bit because I only had 20 to 25 minutes in the trophy truck before I raced it. You know, we drove in Plaster City. I drove for about 10 minutes there, and then we got to shake the truck down before the race, and that was about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So I didn't have a lot of time in the truck, but I feel like I'm pretty fast in a Razor. So I was like, BC, it's the same shit. It's a Razor just with a louder motor, and just relax and
four times the price tag.
Yeah.
Thankfully it's fine.
Yeah. Well, and I would playing devil's advocate, I would think that maybe was to your advantage. If you spend a lot of time in a vehicle and you think
because my buddy Ryan, who owns the truck, drove the frick out of that truck.
That's what I'm saying is that like if you've driven a truck a bunch of times and you feel confident in it, you're going to start pushing it a little bit further every time because you're like, oh yeah, no, the last time I did this turn at 60, I can do it at 65. You know what I mean? Like you're going into it maybe tentatively because of your lack of seat time on it. Maybe that was part of what got it to the finish line because you weren't pushing it. You weren't trying to push it farther than it could go. You're
100% correct because like once I knew the truck wasn't shifting into third and I was stuck in second, which mind you, the truck will still do 65, 70 without over revving the motor. I think my rule was I'm not going to rev it over $5,000 because we're not going to win the race, right? So why abuse my buddy's motor?
Yeah.
So I kept it $5,000 and under. So that was about 6,500 or 65 miles an hour. And it was good for most of the terrain that I traveled. You know what I mean? And there came a point when they said, stop, we want to look at the transmission and that. And I sat there for a while. And finally, Ryan, I was in an area where I had cell service. And Ryan calls me and he goes, fucking drive that thing home. He goes, fuck, let's go, get that to the finish.
Yeah.
But fine, I can do it. No problem. And I did. It was like driving a Razor. There was no shifting. Well, in this truck, it's paddle shift, so it's super simple anyways.
That's insane. That's
fucking badass. So, I drove at 80%, from that point on. There was a lot of technical stuff in the dust. I didn't try to impress Wes, my co-driver. I just said, fuck, I'm going to drive my speed and I'm going to save the truck and I'm going to get this thing to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to wreck it right now. We're not competing for podium.
I consider that like I just don't want to die. Like, so I'm gonna drive as far as I can see. If it's dusty, like I just want to stay back and assess the terrain and make the adjustments needed. If you're trying to push beyond your experience at that point, you're just throwing in like a lot of dangerous variables.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be stupid to do that. I wanted to get it to the finish. I felt comfortable if I rolled that thing, I'd be just fine. But my goal was not to roll that thing. Yeah. It was to get it to the finish in a timely manner so we can all celebrate, have a cerveza, and learn from the event and, go and be stronger competitors next time.
You hear that, Cody? I'd be a great trophy truck driver. That's like me. Like, hey, look, I don't want to go to the hospital. I want to finish this race, and I want to drink some beers at the end.
Cody was telling me early on that you'd be a better fluffer.
That depends on how many beers are involved, and what kind of beer.
Speaking of fluffer, man, I had a vasectomy consult today, and it went well.
Okay.
I got an incredible story for the vasectomy.
Okay. Please,
all right.
Go on.
Don't get in there acting like you're a tough guy.
No.
Right, because they're going to stick a needle in your balls. And I've got a fear of everything touching my balls. So look. I went there, and the doctor goes, "All right, are we going to have an issue with you?" And I go, "Quite possibly." And he goes, "Men tolerate this all the time." And I go, "So you're saying I need to man up?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "I'll try." And so he's down there reaching. He goes, "I'm feeling for the vas," and I'm wiggling all over the place. And he goes, "This ain't going to work." And I go, good, I'll come back. You can put me to sleep.
So
they put me to sleep. But then after you get done with the vasectomy, about a month later, they'll call you and you say, hey, you need to come get tested. And I go, tested for what? And they go, well, we need to get a count.
Yeah. They got to make sure it's clear.
And I go,
just did that.
So how many ejaculate, or I now that your daughter's shown up.
This is a very timely.
We'll call it sessions.
Preston just walked in as we were having this conversation.
They go, if you've had 30 sessions, you need to come in and have it counted. So I go like,
I'm married. I've had 2 sessions.
30 sessions after 2 days.
I go to the clinic at Kaiser, and there's a lady there, and I go, hi, I'm here for a
session count.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people in there, and she's like, what test, honey?
Swimmer count.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Take this cup and go back there and do that. So then I come out, and I was hoping she was still there, but she wasn't. Now it's a new lady. Sample, and the lady goes, oh, you got a sample? What is your sample? And there's a bunch of people just watching, and I go, semen? And she goes, how old is it? And I go, 1 minute.
12 seconds.
Couple months. He's already in school. I put him in.
Look.
I had to do the same thing.
Hold on.
What?
Go ahead.
So the moral of the story is, for your vasectomy, get put to sleep.
100%.
And then after, don't wait for them to call you. Do 30 sessions. Go in and get a test. Don't say anything.
Do you have a tick mark on the family whiteboard? Is that what, so you can count down every day?
I was awake for it. I was awake for the whole thing.
You're a man.
And they told me I had to come back after 3 months. It wasn't even like after this many times or whatever. They said in 3 months.
Well, because
that sounds about right.
They didn't have faith that you were going to get the job done.
They took one look at you and be like, it's going to take them a while to get to 30 sessions.
That's true.
I remember back in the day when your sister and I were together, and we were trying to,
conceive.
Conceive. And it was like, okay, come in. We need some samples. And they gave me the container. I'm like, better give me a bigger container than this shit. I don't know. Seems kind of small. It's going to be messy in here. And then you're done. You're like, fuck. Wow, man.
I could use a smaller container.
When they gave me the cup and said, go give us a sample, I was cool with it. And then I got in the bathroom and looked at my phone, and there was no cell service.
Right. How am I supposed to do this?
No, look,
we're going old school.
Calling the fluffer.
My consult with Jill went really well.
Oh.
She was a little bit. Her hands were a little bit stronger than I had hoped that they were, but at the end of the day, I think it went well.
Some people are into that.
Yeah,
strong hands.
So Jose, I'm going to suggest that you schedule a vasectomy consult
in
do that Chino, and specifically ask for Jill.
Okay.
I felt like they were kind of trying to like almost talk me out of it. Like, are you sure this is permanent? I said, look, I got a 16-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Can I
go
schedule,
get the scissors?
Yeah.
Can I schedule weekly vasectomies? Like,
I got Kaiser, so I can't go to that.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna go back for a second opinion. He's got Kaiser. He said he can't go to that.
I can't go to that.
That's who I got, Kaiser.
Yeah. But that means he can't go to my consult, girl.
Kaiser has their own.
I'll tell you the girl there to go to at the Garden Grove Clinic.
Nah, I'm going to the Ontario one. That's right, one exit away from
you don't want that one.
Yeah.
Just like the further from the OC, it gets less enticing.
This is urinology talk at Trail Chasers.
Yeah, if you wanted an appointment, a real appointment, you want like further east, it's wide open out there. Nobody cares about that stuff.
Well, anyways, those altering.
Exactly.
This is totally off the rails. So, as far as the racing is concerned, I am super interested in hearing more about this, especially hearing, when we talked at Expo, and then this was your first race, and you got to finish, and now you're excited to do better. I would like to keep having conversations.
So you were like, this mofo says he's going to drive a trophy truck.
I was jealous. You started showing us pictures, and I'm like, son of a bitch. None of my friends need write-offs. That's the thing that I keep coming back to. None of my friends need write-offs.
Well, I need write-offs. I just don't qualify for them.
Yeah, I need write-offs. They're not just, $500,000 write-off.
Exactly.
But
I'm writing off like lunch. Maybe.
I worked from home. I get to write off a portion of my Wi-Fi service.
Exactly.
So I definitely want to talk more as you continue this journey, like as you get ready to go to the 400, and then you get that race.
I think you guys should come down for it and hang out with us.
I would love to. We'll talk after about how we make that happen. And Casey's a great mechanic. The rest of us hold tools and cameras. Like that's. You at least get some assistance from Casey.
I won't even say that. I just
brother.
I'm pretty good at drinking beer and like
cameras.
What's that?
You hold tools and cameras.
Yeah, that's I just hand stuff to my little brother. I'm at the point now where I'm like, what do you need, dude? I'm your shop bitch.
It's like the linkage is twisted.
You're the shop.
Just give me the high gear.
My cleaner just showed up.
Hi, cleaner. You're gonna be in so much trouble, dude. You are gonna be in so much trouble.
The call ended for some reason.
Yes, the wife, all the power went out in the house. Like.
So when are we going off-roading?
Let's do it. Jose is supposed to be planning a trip to Baja. For an off-road trip.
I want to do some stuff up in Big Bear and local.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. I live in Big Bear.
That's what we told him.
I'll be in Arrowhead on Saturday.
Now he's getting stuff thrown at him.
Well, a buddy's birthday. We're going up there for his dinner. But yeah, I got the company vehicles. I want to go up and do some off-roading with some people who know the terrain.
Did you wheel that 200 yet?
Huh?
Did you wheel the 200 series, the Land Cruiser yet?
No, you know what? I'm taking that thing to the Overland Expo in Loveland, Colorado in August. And from there, I'm going to do I'm going to stay in Crested Butte, and we're going to do the run from Crested Butte over to Marble, which is an incredible run called the Schofield Pass. Then we're going to go down to Uray and do the Imogene Pass, and I'm going to camp out in the neat little tent on top of it. And
Nice.
do some landing.
We'll definitely put something together and let you know. We need to get this weekend. We're going to do a pre-run. If you wanted to join us for that, but we're going to be. It's just for a day, possibly an overnight. We might do Saturday night, and then we have to do a pre-run. We're leading a trail run in September for a large group, and so I want to pre-run that trail and make sure we've got everything marked out before that. So if you're not doing anything Sunday,
probably do something Sunday, because I'll be up there. And by the way, I play in a rock band. You guys all got to come check it out. Go.
I was gonna ask next, like what type of music do you play in?
So I come from a band. I was the original drummer of a band called Head PE.
Okay.
Which was
my God, I cannot believe that.
Yeah, the first 3 albums, BC Vaught. I'm the drummer. And then I left that band and played for Breaking Benjamin.
Oh wow, okay, those ones I know.
Yeah.
Head PE was the shit.
Yeah. Sander, yeah, that's me on the drums.
Wow. And so you're still playing?
Dude, I'm in a new band. June 24th, we're playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood, and 4 of the original 6 members of Head PE are going to jam that night. Jim Beaver, the voice of Off-Road, is emceeing the night. If you guys all want to come, I'll put you guys all on the list. You'll be backstage drinking beers with us and partying. I'd love to have you guys out.
You say it's June 24th?
June 24th, Saturday night at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood.
It's going on the official Trail Chaser calendar right now.
Yeah. What's the name of your band now?
It's called Bias, Breaking in a Sequence.
Okay.
So
it's my birthday weekend.
I'll text you back some videos right now.
Birthday. Oh, that's Sunday's. Jose's birthday is Sunday, so we're going to take him to Whiskey A Go-Go, get him Whiskey A Trashed. See what happens.
24th is Saturday night. 24th is Saturday night, so let's get him really hungover for his birthday.
Yes. Yeah, I can't. I have to be alive for Sunday.
No. Says who?
I'm going somewhere.
Says who?
He's going to end up at the Roxy.
Hey, we got you for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
we got you. You're going nowhere.
We're going to wake up on Sunday. It's going to be like, has anybody seen
Bud
Jose?
Light night at the Roxy. Jose.
He'll be at the Roxy for like a Morrissey cover band.
Hey, whatever. You gotta keep the party going, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's probably what's gonna happen.
All right, seriously, everybody just got an invite for Whiskey A Go-Go on June 24th. So we're gonna put that on the calendar, try to make that happen.
I gotta find a babysitter.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make that happen. I don't know. What's the 20th?
I gotta find a wife and kid sitter. How's that gonna happen?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Rain can watch me and the boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No pressure. If you guys can make it, great. If you can't, it's all good.
Oh, we want to make it. I'll take it.
We want to make it for sure.
Absolutely.
So I got to find out what time my wife flies out on Sundays. So I'll go out.
The Whiskey. The last time I went to the Whiskey, I think
a long
I think
time.
I saw like it was like a surf punk band, Man or Astro Man, I think was the last time I'd been to the. That was a long time ago. It was like 20 years ago.
It's I think I've been there once, and it was at least 20 years ago.
I'm just gonna have a couple of Michelob Ultras and just hang out.
Yeah,
you know?
You got a big day in the morning. Go to Costco.
I got a big day on
Ross Dress for Less if possible.
Whatever. We get them shark eyes coming out of you. No problem.
Oh, shark eyes for sure. I didn't get to see him on this last camping trip.
No,
you
didn't bring enough.
You didn't work hard enough. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't have enough rum. All you have to do is like swirl a bottle of Captain Morgan in front of him, and you'll see shark eyes.
Yeah,
I didn't plan accordingly, so
that guy is never coming out in the world again. He's retired.
I disagree.
Exactly. How about some Baja?
BC's rolling the Baja whiskey, the Baja tequila.
That's right. Baja tequila will get them shark eyes out 100%. Guaranteed.
Shark eyes is retired, all right? He's
not.
He peaked at the YOLO event.
He's never peaked. He still hasn't peaked.
Look, Jose, let's not ruin the rest of my life. If I'm looking forward to seeing your shark eyes come out again, don't say it's never going to happen, because I know
you got to give the people what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the So I definitely want to have more conversations about the Baja races and the truck races, because I think we're vicariously living through you. And if you find another rich friend that wants to do something, please let us know. I definitely want to hang out and we'll try to figure out a field trip to Whiskey a Go Go on the 24th. And then we'll plan a wheeling trip sometime soon, because I want to get you out in that company vehicle with those Kanati tires onto the trail and kind of check those things out, because I've heard such good things about them. I want to see them in action, and I think that's a great way to do that.
I've been looking for peeps to hang out with to go off-roading up here. I just have yet to meet a crew, so let's do this.
Let's do it. I'll put something together, and Casey's always up in Big Bear. He works at a shop up there, so you can find him all the time. And we try
to put a buddy named Shark Eyes.
Yeah, we try to put together runs, and a lot of our runs are very last minute. It'll be like Friday at 9:00, and there'll be a text that says, "Who wants to go wheeling in the morning?" So I'll add your name to that list for who wants to go wheeling in the morning, and then a lot of times we'll pull that off. So I definitely want to have some more conversation about that. What else? Is there anything coming up from either the racing side or the Kanati side that you want to tell the listeners about, like any events that you're going to be at?
No, just, I'm going to be up at the Overland Expo in Bend, Oregon next.
Okay.
That's in about a month from now. But I just want to say, check out greenballtires.com. And if there's anything I can do, hit me up at bc@rotationmotorsports.com. I'll give you all the information on the tires you need. I take care of everybody on price and service. It's like somebody wants some tires in Redlands, I'll bring you the tires, give you a killer price, and deliver them to you. Yeah, I just want to keep the tires on people's vehicles so they can, learn to love them and tell their friends about them, and we can just continue growing.
Yeah, and that's the proof is in the pudding, right? You get them under a set of get the tires under a truck and go out wheeling, and you go, man, these things are awesome, right? So
word of mouth.
Yeah, we can definitely help with that. I definitely want to have a conversation with you about how we can help with that.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm so glad you joined us. This has been awesome to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to hearing more, and we'll put something together for us to do some wheeling together and hang out by the campfire. That's where the real magic happens. And and then we're going to try to come out and watch you rage on the 24th at Whiskey a Go Go.
Sounds awesome.
Well, don't hang up.
I'll take care of all you guys, and you'll have a blast.
Yeah, I will tell you. I'll let you know if we're going to make it happen. Jose's going to bail out.
Yeah.
But
hey, Jose, I need a babysitter that night.
All right. All right, man. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Thanks a lot, guys, for having me on the show. See y'all.
All right, we're still he hung up. That's all right. It's been a while since we've had someone hang up, so we're good there. That was fun. He's a super cool dude. I'm looking forward to hanging out.
I cannot believe he was I don't know. Do you guys remember Head PE?
I didn't.
I vaguely do.
Hey bartender, hit me with another, like that. The Hey Bartender song was like popular as shit in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I sing it again because I think I need to hear it more.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. It was a one-off.
What did it sound like again?
Yeah, what was that?
I'll send you a link.
Okay, do we need a break for anything?
No, I already went pee.
Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks to BC for joining us. That was a really fun conversation. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him. And I'm serious about trying to get to Whiskey Go Go on the 24th. We'll have to figure that out.
Definitely want to get out there to Whiskey Go. And I love having people on that are like just living my dreams.
Yeah.
If things go real good.
Well, that guy runs and guns. I always say that's like a term I haven't used in a while, but it's like I'm just running and gunning. Like if I'm living life on a dirt bike and camping and campfires and drinking, that's running and gunning. That's the impression I get from him. Like, yeah,
I was gonna say, when was the
last
time you were running and gunning?
No, Jose, I don't think you've known me as that person.
But you said if I got a dirt bike, we'll be riding all the time. God damn.
Yeah, no, I gotta.
He also said he was going to fix his Frontier.
Yeah,
but like
now,
none
even
of
if
those
you fix
things
your
are going to
bike,
happen.
Did I say I was going to fix my Frontier?
You did.
You did.
Was there a timeline established? Because it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
I'm just saying. You said you'd fix it.
I'm just saying Memorial Day
Yeah, no, I'll fix
2025.
it. Yeah, no. Hey, look,
Hammer's 23. Hammer's 24.
I got a target to beat. Thank you guys for those targets. And I will try and beat those days.
I mean, I'm giving you like 2 years, dude, and I don't even think that's
No,
enough.
I know.
I don't think that's enough to fix the 3 sensors on your truck.
How's that stopping me from going the Whiskey a Go-Go? Because it seems like I'm more likely to go than you for that
100%.
event.
I mean, if I didn't have to do what I'm doing that Sunday.
Because you hate rock and roll. That was the
I
thing.
don't.
Yep. So we'll try to make that happen. I am very, very excited to announce that as of today, the Trail Chasers podcast is now brought to you by Outdoor by 4 magazine.
There was no drum roll?
Yeah, no drum roll.
So we have been we've had those guys on the show a couple times. We spent a ton of time with them at Overland Expo. We've been chatting with them. SEMA.
We've spent some time.
And we found that Jason from Outdoor by 4 has easily worked himself into our group messages and shares the same lame 80s movies mentality and twisted sense of humor as we do. So we've worked it out with Outdoor by 4 magazine. You'll see that there's going to be branding on the show now, and all of our social posts are going to have that. There's a whole list of action items that I need to take care of for this to go into place, but there's going to be some benefits to all of you as listeners. Go ahead.
As patrons, right?
Well, yeah, we're gonna work
special benefits.
We're gonna work out. There's gonna be discount codes. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. So we'll put together some more communication on that and be able to get that information out. But for those of you that haven't already, Outdoor by 4, Outdoor X4 is the outdoorx4.com is the website. I've subscribed to the I think the first time I met Jason is when we did the Toyo tire thing. You're shaking your head. No, that's not when I first met him.
No. I was just going to say, like you had mentioned, he's kind of been a part of the weekly, in the chat room or whatever. And judging from, I didn't hang out with him this past weekend, but from SEMA, it's like, oh yeah, no, we fit like a glove.
Oh,
hand
totally.
And glove, like,
yeah, because
the first time me and Matt met him was at that Toyo tire thing.
Yeah, at SEMA, and that's when all the random ass madness was happening at that table.
There was somebody. He and Jose were having a conversation, and I don't remember who I was talking to. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to get into this conversation with these guys. It was so rad. And then we had interviewed him. I think Jason maybe 4 weeks later or something like that.
Yep.
And it was like, oh yeah, dude.
He's our guy. He's our people.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength.
He's 100% our people. And we're gonna be doing like I said, there's a whole host of things that as part of the agreement that I need to do that I'm going to put together. And if you haven't already, go to outdoorx4.com and check out the magazine. It's a super cool. I have 3 of the magazines here. Like it's a super high quality, good magazine. We the Trail Chasers were featured fairly heavily in issue 46. You can go back on their digital. That's one of the other things is they've got. You can subscribe to the print magazine.
Yeah.
You can still get the digital magazine. They have an audio version of the magazine. There's going to be a ton of stuff there. But the coolest Ford Ranger on the planet was featured in issue 46. And then they also put this stupid blue truck in there. But Jason did a great write-up on that and gave us some credit for that, and we've been able to stay in contact.
Books on tape.
So I really think for me, and I'll speak for the guys because we've had a ton of conversation about this. I think the one of the most exciting things about this relationship is that not only kindred spirits, but their ultimate goal is the same as ours. It's to communicate content, to inspire people to get outdoors, to provide information, to be part of the community. They do a really good job of that. And that's I think that's one of the things that drew us to them as sponsors. And I could not be more excited about this relationship and where it's going. And I think that already, Jason's in the chat room already. Over the course of the last week since this has actually happened, he's already been like, all right, I talked to this person and I'm going to send them to you. They're going to be on the show. All right, cool. Let's do this. It's like already, I'm on his speed dial already and I love it. It's awesome. We had a conversation when I picked up Presley today. I was in the Carl's Jr. drive-thru and I'm like, all right, hold on, dude. I got to order dinner, and talking about collaboration and events that are coming up, and we got a couple events that are coming up here in Southern California that we're going to participate in, and try to get the word out while we're there. So it is with a lot of humility and respect and appreciation that we announced that we've got this partnership with these guys, and I feel really, really good about it. So if you guys have any questions about the magazine, or if you have any questions about kind of what's coming up next, you know where to find us. We're going to put more effort into our communications, where you'll see some more integration with the magazine. You'll see our advertisement. We're going to do a ad inside the magazine to help get the word out about the show. And hopefully, between the cross promotion between the two brands, we can grow both audiences in a way that, because I do feel like it's the same audience. I think
we can finally hit double-digit audience.
We might get 20.
We might expand 30. Past our families, our immediate families. Yes.
My wife has stopped listening a while ago, so we need someone to replace that download.
I can only have so many email accounts, guys.
Yeah. I've got a ton of like old computers. I should just set them all up right here, and each week just download the episode from each. If you've got old phones. Yeah, if you've got an old phone, hook it up to your Wi-Fi.
I think Tim's already done that. I think there's like a number of people that have already done that. Yeah. We're very appreciative.
Anytime I'm at the Apple store, I'll find us on the phone and subscribe.
That's evil genius. That is so genius.
Hey, man, it's all about the numbers.
Look, and on any given device, you can have Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Castbox.
So we condone that. Like, if you're a listener, and just go to the Apple Store,
yes,
and set up an account.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna regret this. If you send me a picture of you at the Apple Store subscribing to our show, I'll send you a sticker or something. Like if you
just a sticker, like
what? Man. It's not like they're committing a crime on our behalf. It's not like we're asking them to do.
Are they?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
We're putting
internet laws,
content on their phone.
Exactly.
Our family-friendly, informational-only podcast.
And if you do it on every device in the Apple Store, we'll send you that many stickers.
There's at least,
somebody's listening to this that works at Apple, and they're like, I'm getting a sticker tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm getting 12 stickers tomorrow.
I'm getting 12 stickers tomorrow.
Unless it's Ting. Like, Ting does not count.
Yes, it does.
Mark has a good idea too. You can go to T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T.
You can hit up all the mobile carriers, Spectrum.
Man, I don't.
Hey, the sticker rule still applies.
I don't disagree. But yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We've already had some conversations about upcoming events and how we can collaborate and where we're going to be and that kind of thing. So that's exciting to me. The next thing is we'll talk about more in a couple weeks. You'll start hearing more discussions about it. But on July 9th, mark your calendars. We will be at Cabe Toyota in Long Beach. They are launching their new adventure store powered by Ironman, and we will be emceeing the event and working with Cabe Toyota to get the word out about it. And I would love to see a bunch of the Trail Chaser audience there. We'll talk more about that. I got to finalize the details with them in the next week or so, but
maybe we can come up with like another code word or audible.
Yeah.
I still have
some of the older ones, the Audible older ones.
So that, yes, if you know that,
if you know the original Audible, if you know how,
that means you get that. But maybe we can come up with something else.
And if you don't, then you need to go back and listen and buy the original.
How
Audible.
many? That was before. That was like a week or two before. That
was like episode 60 or something.
It was before
Off-Road
Expo 2019.
It was 90 because I went back, re-listened to a bunch of episodes, trying like a best of thing, and that was where Jose and I were talking about Poltergeist.
Yes.
Oh
my God!
It is 89 or 90.
It was.
That's an all-time episode. That is a great episode.
Yes, and it's 2019 or so, and it was like it was like Brewfest, and then that episode.
Oh my God! We were so good back then.
Oh God! Remember?
See, we were running and gunning then.
Remember?
Yes.
Remember? I've been watching South Park since Member Berries. That whole Q4 of 2019 going into Q1 of 2020, we were on fire.
Yeah.
We were on fire.
We were good in those days.
Man, we have gone downhill since then.
Had vigor then.
Yes, Shy, you know which one we're talking about. So I agree, Matt. I think before the Cave event, we need to come up with a phrase that pays and figure that out. I don't have all the details yet of the event timing and all that stuff, other than it will be.
What was the date again?
July 9.
Okay.
July 9, which I believe is a Sunday. Yes, Sunday. So Sunday, July 9, we'll be out there. And then, I sent you guys an article today. Did you read it?
No.
Of course you fucking didn't read it.
I had MFRs today, dude. I was like totally
MFU.
swamped.
MFU.
Okay.
You had motherfuckers today?
I had, it was a very high stress situation. It's like the one time a month I'm held to account for my projects. Like, it's very stressful. Hey, Matt, how are you doing on your two $24 million projects? Good.
Well, up and down.
Más y menos.
A
little bit of good here, a little bit of bad there. That's essentially
sometimes
what it is.
Maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
That's right.
He's like, who told you it was 24 million? Because that's not quite what I've got in my books.
Did you say 24 million? Exactly.
Guys, it's all
well,
perspective.
Well, after all the lunches are added up, it's going to come way over 24 million.
Exactly.
So I found an article that I sent to the guys, hoping that they would do something with it. They didn't. So here it is.
I did. I said I read it.
We have jobs.
I said I fucking read it.
Oh, bird.
Sorry.
Ram launches the Rampage, a new small pickup truck for America. It is
South America.
I know it's but it is.
How dare you?
It is.
How dare you trying to throw that in my lap as a patriot?
What?
For America. Yeah, exactly. South America.
It is. It's right now. It's South America, but I think it's important.
I mean, look at that taillight. It has a U.S. flag.
Yes, totally has a flag in it.
Ooh, shit. You know what? The Maverick doesn't have that.
No,
because it's not American made.
So the
Hecho in Mexico.
The Rampage, Rampage is a unibody truck similar to the Maverick, similar to the Ridgeline, the Santa Cruz. That market's coming up, man. I
don't agree with their decision to do that at one bit.
To explain more, why do you not agree with their decision?
Well, okay, so I guess they could say, check it out. No one's really gunning for those dudes. We could totally own that market, but what is that market? Like, how big is that market?
Well,
it's freaking Dodge Ram. You make the TRX, and then you're gonna make a Dodge Ridgeline.
But they can because they already make the TRX.
Yes.
Right. Okay. But so then why does Ford make the Ranger Raptor as well as the Raptor, as well as the Bronco Raptor?
I'll tell you what. Santa Cruz.
The only reason why I'm upset about this truck is they wasted the name Rampage. That the TRX should be the fucking Rampage.
Yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer.
They had the name to make the miniature TRX, right? Like. Just like the Ranger Raptor, right? Because look, hey, you want a TRX, but you only want it, you want a mid-sized version of it. Here you go. Here's the Rampage, boxed frame, all that good shit. They were a unibody. Come on.
Here's the thing, Case. Specifically, the fact that they're rolling this out in South America, I feel like you're looking at it from a very
it is
U.S.
It is.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
let me ask you guys this question: if these trucks were just as capable as a traditional truck, body on frame, had the same amount of capability, would you care if it was unibody?
No.
Or
I drove the shit out of my SJ and my WJ that were both unibody vehicles, and they were great.
So you're acting.
Yeah, but you know how that unibody reacts on off-road.
Exactly. What technology does it have?
Way shit transmits through the entire vehicle.
Honestly, I don't know. I've never driven a unibody truck off road.
They're not
good for off-road.
So there is a difference. So with our trucks, you've got the frame, isolation cab, isolation bed, right? So there's multiple points in which the vehicle can move. That doesn't happen here. It definitely, and I haven't driven in a modern unibody. The last 2001 was my WJ. That's the latest version of a wheel off-road vehicle I've done. But the whole thing is the whole thing. Like if it twists, it all twists. So
on the road, unibody is like a lot of your right. Like a lot of vehicles on the road that are just road vehicles are unibody.
Yeah,
and it's fine.
No, I know.
But when you start having if you try, especially when you upgrade the suspension, you feel that through the entire vehicle, and that vehicle twists to where it's just it's not great.
But I would think for a trail running vehicle, an adventure vehicle, a Mojave Trail vehicle, a 3N16 Big Bear vehicle, this unibody truck or the Ridgeline or the Maverick would be fun to drive. The Renegade, it would be fine. I think that I was going to say, Casey, I think you're looking at it from a very US centric perspective. In the global market, I don't know that any other country consumes full-size trucks the way we do.
Yeah,
but this isn't a full-size truck. This is a mid-size truck.
I know. That's my point.
That's his point.
My point is that
you're comparing it to the Santa Cruz, which is a cool-ass looking truck. Like, dude, if I just wanted something to whip to the parts store once in a while, and I wanted
you take a Tesla.
True value.
I have taken my Tesla. And you can fold those seats down, and maybe I could leave the tailgate open if I want to put some drywall or whatever, 2x4s or something. But there is an aesthetic. Like, I think the Santa Cruz is a really cool looking vehicle. It harkens back to the Chevy Love truck, or it's
a very
small
matchbox car.
Yeah. Exactly. And so just what Cody put up on the screen right here, it still looks like a cool. I mean, it's not a truck, and I think that's what Cody is saying is we've identified truck as supremely capable. You're putting your pride in a vehicle and its capability and all these other things. This isn't really a truck. It's like
utility vehicle.
Yes, it's like an SUV, but in truck form.
It's a freaking Ridgeline.
Yeah, it's
right. No,
but it looks way cooler.
Right, no, and that's what I'm saying. Cooler. Look, that thing looks badass, but I don't know.
Hey, Honda's been making Ridgelines for, I can't believe they still make them, and this truck might stop that.
John,
because it seems that much cooler.
John is saying compare it to the Rampage of the early '80s, and I don't remember. I remember the name, but
that's like a full size.
Yeah, but this market is giant, guys. Ford can't sell enough or make the Maverick fast enough.
Yeah.
They can't make them fast enough.
I would have bought a Maverick if I had.
Oh, John, thank you for this. This was the Dodge Rampage. Oh my God, the Dodge. John, thank you for that. The Dodge Rampage.
Cody, put it up on the screen so I can see it. Oh hell yeah, it's a Brat.
Yes, it's a Brat. It was the Subaru Brat.
Yeah.
Wow! Now I want a Rampage from the 1980s. Holy shit!
Why didn't they bring back the Dakota? Now. Why didn't they do something cool with the Dakota? You know what I mean?
Well, who's to say they're not gonna?
I thought they were. I
Well-
thought we read that,
well,
that they were.
Yeah.
The time is now, right? I mean,
No, but
or
it may be that they're bringing out the Rampage in South America, get the bugs out, and roll the vehicle out in version 2 as the Dakota in America.
Version 2
You
can't
can't
be
use
unibody
that name anymore.
I would not at all be surprised if they went unibody for their midsize truck. Look, they've got the full size.
They're not competing like with the rest of the midsize trucks.
Are they?
Does
they won't.
Ridgeline?
No,
Does
maybe they don't
Ridgeline
want
compete?
to. Maybe they don't want to compete with Tacoma and
No,
Ranger
again, but the
and
Rampage,
ZR2.
as it stands, competes with the Ridgeline and the Santa Cruz or whatever. And again, it's just aesthetic. You just like
And
the way that looks.
with the Ram name and Dodge behind. I know it's their
Nah,
own.
you're putting-
Ram is its own
Nobody
thing now,
cares
but
about names anymore.
Well, they do. That's why they buy Toyotas, right? I mean,
No. I'm just saying. Okay, that's
Yeah, but-
Toyota, but we're talking about Dodge. Like Rampage,
but
we just
first-
had to look and see what a Rampage meant 40 years ago, and
Right,
it was like,
but I mean,
oh
there's-
shit, that was cool.
there's
you
Dodge
know?
guys, there's Ford guys, there's Chevy guys, there's Toyota guys, there's Jeep guys, whatever. So people will buy shit just because of the badge on it. Maybe not us, but there are people that are like that. And with the name Ram or Dodge behind it, they could really put a dent in the market. I think if they put out a good,
a
mid-size
real
truck.
real mid-size truck. No,
but they're not going
I
to do it
agree
with a
you.
unibody truck.
No, I
Oh,
100%. I
Look
agree with
here.
you.
It says if you're hoping that this will come to the U.S. at some point as the new Dakota, don't get your hopes up. The 2024 Rampage is a small pickup that's going to
Yeah,
have unique requirements for South American market.
The Dakota has to come in with an RT model that has 360 horse, some crazy.
Look, I
whatever.
can
That's
get a
the
good
other
look
thing
at a
is that
T-bone.
thing's not even putting out that much horsepower. It didn't seem like.
Nah, it's like patented for a diesel engine. So, dude, we're not getting it here. We're not gonna get it here.
No.
The Rampage or Dakota?
But imagine
Rampage.
that vehicle, the way it looked, but like body on frame
Yeah,
with the rear
with
locker.
that styling. Yep.
That'd be the shit.
Did you guys see the new release of the Chevy Colorado?
Oh my God, the Bison!
Yeah.
Oh my God,
dude.
No,
I want
that's, Yeah, that's
Amazing.
that's a legit. The desert.
Yeah, that's like
was it desert?
No, the Bison, the AEV Bison.
Yeah, I know, but they had a desert version.
Yeah, you don't want
what
that
I
shit,
saw.
dude. Nah,
What are you talking
I don't
about?
want that one, dude. You want the Bison, bro?
It is.
You know
it's
that
the-
that fucking truck is big as shit though for a mid-sized truck. It's a
Mhm.
big fucking truck.
Good.
America.
Yeah.
It's I've not traditionally not been a fan of Chevy as a whole. I think
Colorado.
I think the
though, is fucking
Colorado,
fire.
like Corey's Colorado, looks great. The ZR2 is a great truck. I'm just saying aesthetically, it hasn't been my jam.
But that Bison.
That Bison is freaking gorgeous. It is an amazing looking truck, and
dude, that's gonna be like 80 grand.
oof.
They haven't
Well,
even
yeah.
announced, they haven't announced
Right
pricing
there
yet.
with the Ranger Raptor, right?
Yeah, it's like
Well, the Ranger Raptor is
59.
MSRP 57, yeah. Which
I built one. online.
did you?
It was 59.
I need someone needs to hire me so I can get a Ranger Raptor.
Did you get the very gay paint job?
Dude, that was
Jose?
it's so funny that
I did.
those memes came out about that thing that commercial is like 4 years old. Like it's been around for a while. But we've mentioned it multiple times between the Ranger, the Tacoma, the Colorado.
Sheesh, it's like you can't go wrong
yeah.
now, dude.
Stack up your Benjamins because you're going to be spending a ton of money on a truck, but you're going to have a ton of fun. I mean, all of these trucks are awesome.
Do you
The
think the
golden
aftermarket
age.
support is going to be there for the Colorado?
Probably not. I don't think so.
What aftermarket support do you need with that Colorado? As far as
That's the thing. like,
capability.
it has 35s on it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, bumpers, sliders,
Sure,
It has
I mean,
that, but it
that-
has that.
bed rack, all that. Yeah, but I mean, some people wouldn't change it. Corey's Bison had all that too, but
No.
he changed
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
Nobody's competing with Toyota or Jeep for
For accessory wise, no.
accessories. But if you don't need like suspension upgrades, because the truck comes like ready to rock and roll, and I've said 100 times, and I'll give Ford credit for this. Like, all right, the Raptor, I'll trust that they put enough math and money and engineering behind, I'll just leave that alone.
Yeah.
Like on
Yeah,
a
but-
Raptor, yes.
on
On a
Raptors-
Colorado and on a Bison, 100%. I just leave it. And then whether
they
you
still
want to
have-
put other shit on it, that's it's up to you. And if you're trying to compare that to Toyota or Jeep, like
Yeah, well,
all right, you're
but for a Raptor, most people will never need more than what's on it, but they still sell even bigger shocks and shit for it. Right? All companies make it because it's just
people are stupid.
Yeah, well, because there are some people that need write-offs.
Do they still-
If there's anything
Does
we
it still
learned
come with the
tonight,
DSSV?
yes.
if there's anything we've learned tonight is
I need to get better friends.
some
That's
people
what
need
I.
write-offs.
Yeah, you guys are lame.
That's what I learned tonight. I need better friends.
I don't know any of those people.
Hey, lose my number.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes with the DSSVs and it comes with front hydraulic bump stops, front and rear.
Yeah.
John says you need a mullet to drive one of those 80s rampages. that is a perfect that rampage looked like a mullet.
You know what? I think that well, okay, the Brat, the Subaru Brat was like super cool looking, but also like the late 60s El Caminos were so cool looking that everybody's trying to since has tried to capture that aesthetic or that style. Like
Is it
the
a
Ford
truck?
the
Is it
Ford
a truck?
Ranchero
Yeah.
is not the same, but there was that 67 to 69 or whatever El Camino that was super cool. That was based on the God damn it. Help me. Not the Camaro.
Impala?
Chevelle?
The
The
Chevelle.
Chevelle. It
Yeah.
was based on the Chevelle that just everybody's been trying to copy that. Yeah, right there, dude. How cool is that?
1969.
It's like
Chevy El
perfect aesthetics, like the balance, everything is ideal right
yeah,
there.
that's a super cool vehicle.
So if you could try and duplicate that in whatever, whether it's off-road, mini trucks, whatever, that styling is perfect for like the
Pretty sure that El Camino has a bigger bed than my Frontier does.
It does. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
It's like a 12-foot bed.
I was considering what it would be like if I slept in the back of my truck, and I was like, I don't think I can curl up into that small of a ball.
Yeah.
No, you have to sleep with the tailgate down.
Yeah, that's the previous
Tailgate
No,
open.
that's the Ranchero. That's the Ford Ranchero. Definitely not as cool as the El Camino.
No.
All right. Well, so again, there's a ton of vehicles coming out, and it's going to be exciting. And
Yeah, that AV Bison, though. Jeez.
yes, it's amazing. If someone was going to hand me, if I had the money to pick, I'd
Well,
still go Raptor. I'd still
'cause
go
they're all
Ranger.
different in their own way, right?
Yes.
Like Raptor still holds the horsepower king because it's like 400 horsepower.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the most all-around one is probably the AV Bison.
Does the Raptor come with a front locker? It
Yes.
does. I've heard
Yes.
it does. I've heard it doesn't.
It does.
Because that's the one thing like the ZR2 Colorado has had over the midsize game was that you get a front locker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so in on my truck that I mean, if the Raptor is just going to be a better version of that truck, you know what I mean? So that's what I would get.
You know how you make your truck better? Your truck better?
You buy a Chevy Colorado.
Yeah. Pull all the shit off of it that you have.
Yeah.
Just take all that shit off.
Casey and I
It'd
had
probably be like amazing. Like if you just stripped it, back
was
down,
amazing.
Dude, yeah,
you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
I've ridden it.
we did the donut run, bro. Like,
No, I know. Like, and then you just started piling shit on it because I need rooftop tents and I gotta have refrigerators. and I gotta have...
my biggest thing right now is the awning.
Yeah.
I can ditch the tent, but I want that awning. It was key. Jose, how many hours did we spend under the
like
fucking
5.
awning?
Yeah.
We spent the whole day in the sun
Yeah.
under the awning.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a key. That's like a key equipment right there. But like if you take the rack, I mean yours wouldn't look bad with just that L rack you have going on.
Yes, it would.
Nah.
yeah.
It would look weird as shit.
The like for me there was a very specific reason why I got that rooftop tent and it was it was given to me and yeah, I totally love it. But there's also part of me that's like, yeah, I want to ditch the weight and drive faster and whatever.
For sure, but then take it from me, the one that does not sleep well on these trips, that sleeping well is probably like trumps everything else.
Yeah, but I do think, yeah, you're right. Like especially when the girls come with me, right? It's important that they're comfortable and the whole thing. And in all honesty, when the in the past when we did ground tents and all that stuff, it was my responsibility to get all that stuff set up. It's a ton of work compared to the rooftop tent.
Oh, dude, that swag tent on that cot, what a game changer!
Told you, right?
Oh my God.
I told you, right?
Set like a rock, dude.
Yeah. So
like,
I forgot about it. So you just set the cot down and then put the swag tent on top of it. Yeah. That's the absolute move.
Yeah.
The only downside is the cot that I gave you isn't quite big enough.
It's not, but it still works.
It worked.
Yeah.
But they do make cots that are big enough to cover the whole thing.
Okay, but I mean, I was like, this is the best.
Yeah. That's how I did it in Johnson Valley that year, and it was so good.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Well, we're going to do some pre-running this weekend on some stuff, and we clearly need to put together some trips between now and the end of the year, and some summer stuff if we can, even if it's just day trips to Big Bear. But we'll let you guys know when that happens, what our plan's going to be. And until then, thank you for listening. Thank you to BC for joining us for the night. Thank you to Outdoor by 4 Magazine for being the sponsor of the show. We're excited to have you on board, and we will talk to you guys next week.